Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Impeached. President Trump becomes the third president in U.S. history to face a trial in the Senate over impeachment. We'll take a look at where the process goes from here in reaction this morning.
Back in court, Leslie Chance, the former elementary school principal, stands accused of murdering her husband. Vanessa Dillon has more from inside the courtroom on who jurors could hear from today.
A teacher in our community making sure every child gets a bedtime story with a new take on the nightly tradition. Tabitha Mills tells us how you can curl up and listen to one of those stories on this Thursday, December 19th, 2019. Maddie Jansen alongside Tabitha Mills. Can't wait to hear that story.
I can't wait to share it with everyone out there. It'll be a heartwarming one for sure. But first and foremost, let's get a look at our forecast out there this morning.
Well, we're looking at a nice sunny day. Yesterday, we saw some nice temperatures. Started out with a little cloud cover, and then we were able to clear things out. Our high, 61 degrees for Wednesday. Normally, we should be right around 56 this time of year. The record, 75, set back in 1979. Right now, we sit at 47 degrees, so a nice chilly start. An easterly wind light at 7 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the temperatures for today, we will rise near 60 degrees. So that'll be a nice, comfortable temperature around the valley. 32 degrees right now in Tehachapi with a light wind out of the west at 5. And as we take a look at the temperatures for today, we'll be in the upper 40s, but then lower 40s arrive again by 5 o'clock. We are tracking two storms heading into the weekend, into the early part of next week, and it could bring some snow into the Kern County mountains. We'll talk much more about that coming up in just a little bit. We'll send it over to you with a check of traffic.
All right, I'm listening. Thanks so much, Kev. Taking a look outside, Highway 99 and Airport Drive. Things are moving smoothly over there this morning, and according to the CHP page, every route is open and clear, save for the construction projects happening around town. We'll have another check of your commute coming up in 15 minutes.
Well, what police are calling a disturbance inside a car leads to a crash when a Good Samaritan decides to get involved. It happened late last night on Highway 178 near Morning Drive. Police are not releasing many details so far, but here's what we know. It apparently all started with a fight of some sort at an apartment complex. Those people then got into a car and ended up on the 178. The Good Samaritan was driving nearby and witnessed what was happening inside of the car, and BPD says the Good Samaritan intervened, and that somehow resulted in a crash. One person was taken to the hospital with minor to moderate injuries, and it's not clear who was injured. Officers were then called to an area near Morning Drive where the people were in their car.
It's 5:02 now in your 17 Court Watch. Several more witnesses took the stand yesterday in the murder trial of a local woman who allegedly shot and killed her husband in August of 2013.
17's Vanessa Dillon has been following the Leslie Chance murder trial closely and has the details.
It was a graphic morning yesterday inside the courtroom. The pathologist who examined Todd Chance's body in 2013 took the witness stand, giving jurors a depiction of the injuries he sustained at the time of his killing. You may recall 52-year-old Leslie Chance is charged with murder following the shooting death of her husband back in 2013. But the focus on the 8th day of the trial has been on the collection of surveillance footage that prosecutors say may connect Leslie Chance to the murder of her husband.
Surveillance footage was the focus on the 8th day of the Leslie Chance murder trial this morning. The day began with a pathologist taking the witness stand, painting a clear picture of Todd Chance's gunshot wounds. After the pathologist came witnesses who own surveillance video that is being shown inside the courtroom during witness questioning. Prosecutors argue the surveillance video is key to identifying Todd Chance's murderer, with prosecutor Andrea Kohler adding the person captured in the surveillance video is Leslie Chance. During opening statements, defense attorney Tony Lidgett countered the argument, adding the video is inconclusive.
Trial will resume today at 2 o'clock. As we reported last week, prosecutors say Chance murdered her husband after discovering he had rekindled a romance with an old flame. That woman is set to speak in court as well. Continue to follow us here and on our website, kgt.com, for the latest on this case. In the newsroom, I'm Vanessa Dillon, 17 News.
And cameras are not allowed inside the courtroom, so we can't show you new video from the trial, but we do have reporters sitting in during the trials, and you can follow along on our KGE Twitter page for the latest on testimony. And for all of our past coverage on this case, just head to our website, kget.com.
5:05 now, and a man accused of hiring hitmen to kill his adopted son is out of prison years ahead of schedule. You may be familiar with this case. In 2014, George Dean hired 3 people to kill his own adopted son, Jonathan. 2 of them were teens, and the investigation also revealed Dean was molesting the 16-year-old who pulled the trigger. In 2016, Dean took a plea deal, and he was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and he's a registered sex offender. We reported that it looked like Dean would get out early sometime next year, but the Department of Corrections confirmed yesterday that he's already out of prison. Eric Gonzalez was the adult who helped the teens with the murder. He's serving 15 years to life. The 2 men who were minors during the shooting had their cases resolved in juvenile court, and their records are sealed. The motive behind the killing is still unclear, but George Dean did have a combined $270,000 life insurance policy on Jonathan Dean.
There's still another mystery with the Dean family. Who killed Jonathan's brother, Nicholas? The 2 were biological brothers adopted to the same family. Nicholas was severely disabled and needed special care. But in 2017, 3 years after Jonathan was shot, Nicholas was found dead inside his home. A pathologist has determined Dean was drugged and strangled. According to search warrants we obtained, police questioned Dean's caretakers and wrapped the investigation. Detectives submitted findings for the case in 2017, but still no charges have been filed. We checked with the DA for an update, but did not hear back by news time.
5:06 now, and the Bakersfield City School District announced it is looking to fill the trustee Area 4 seat as Russ Schubert resigns from the board. The board held a special meeting yesterday to discuss the process and timeline for filling the vacancy. This is not the first resignation the board has had this year. In June, Area 4 trustee Michael Horn resigned. He's served less than a year on the board, having been elected in November 2018. Russ Schubert, who ran against Horn in 2018, was appointed to the seat. BCSD is now accepting applications to fill the vacancy until January 20th. You can find more information on our website, kget.com.
5:07 now, the Delano Police Department is launching saturation patrols to deter impaired driving over the holidays. From now through New Year's Day, the Delano PD will ramp up patrols looking for drivers suspected of being under the influence of alcohol or drugs. It will conduct saturation patrols throughout the city this Saturday. A police spokesman says, unfortunately, they see increasing numbers of impaired drivers over the holidays, putting their lives and the lives of others on the road at risk. With ride-hailing companies and the use of designated drivers, the PD says there's absolutely no excuse for driving drunk or under the influence of drugs.
Governor Gavin Newsom will be in Bakersfield today. The governor's office says Newsom will meet with several homeless veterans about our state's homelessness crisis. Adding, the governor will talk about the services available to help the homeless and build affordable housing in Kern County and California. Kern's most recent point-in-time count reveals a 50% increase in the number of homeless as compared to 2018. Newsom has signed legislation to provide emergency funding to counties with programs for homelessness. Kern is set to receive a portion of $39 million in funding.
It's 5:08 now. We all have to fill up our cars with gas, but there's a new scam on the rise at the pumps.
We'll tell you what it is when we come back.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Welcome back. A devastating fire tore through a home early yesterday morning, trapping a couple who couldn't escape the flames. A home on Montecito Drive in East Bakersfield went up in flames, and neighbors called 911. Minutes later, 2 Kern County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived, and the deputies knew they had to help, so they ran into the burning home. That's where they found Sharon Deja trapped in her wheelchair, surrounded by smoke.
The flames were so thick, the flames and the smoke, I could barely handle it, and I don't know how she was able to. So I knew it was imperative for her safety at that point that we remove her from that area.
The married couple that lives in the house got out safely. They are staying with family in the meantime. What amazing acts of braveness there.
Absolutely. Thank goodness for them. It's 5:19 now. A high-speed chase ended with a crash right here in downtown Bakersfield. Here's a look at the aftermath. It all happened yesterday afternoon. CHP says 2 teens were trying to get away in a stolen car. The pair ran red lights and hit several vehicles during the chase. The pursuit came to an end at 17th and N, and when they crashed head-on into a man who tells 17 News he was just out for lunch.
I rounded the corner. I was just going to get something to eat, and I saw this Mercedes at the last minute just round the corner, skidding and hit me head-on.
Billy Gaeta says he wasn't hurt too badly in the crash. One teen was taken into custody with minor injuries, but the second got away on foot.
5:20 now, and the woman accused of spitting on a burger before giving it to a Bakersfield police officer was back in court yesterday. Tatiana Hargrove pleaded not guilty to the charges against her, and this morning, according to court documents, employees at a West Bakersfield McDonald's saw Hargrove rub the burger bun on the floor before she spat on it. The incident happened in November, and Hargrove is facing a felony and a misdemeanor charge. You may recall in 2018, Hargrove was attacked by a police canine when officers mistakenly tried to arrest her. Then District Attorney Lisa Green said everyone involved handled the situation poorly. She filed an excessive force lawsuit, but the jury sided with the city in October.
5:20 now. Christmas is right around the corner.
If you haven't finished your shopping, consumer reporter Stacey Johnson has some advice on what you should give the person who has everything.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in your 17 Business Watch. Snapchat is introducing a new feature to its app that allows you to post your face on somebody else's body using artificial intelligence. The company says the new addition to Snapchat is called Cameo. Users can make videos or GIFs using photos and plaster it onto a digitized body. The technology is similar to deepfake videos. Earlier this year, deepfake videos came under fire because they were used to make fake political videos. The deepfake videos appear or sound just like real people. Snapchat launched Cameo yesterday. Protect your credit card information at the gas pump. Visa is warning cybercrime teams have found a weak spot in gas station networks. The company's fraud disruption teams are investigating several unique attacks targeting merchant point-of-sale systems that were likely carried out by sophisticated cybercrime groups. It says the groups installed POS malware after gaining access to the gas station's network. Visa says the attacks are more sophisticated than credit card scammers. The company is warning consumers to keep an eye on the charges posted to their accounts. Some people in our lives are hard to shop for because they seem to have everything already. But money expert Stacey Johnson has figured out the best gift to give someone who has it all.
Holiday gifts can really be a challenge, especially when you ask someone what they want and they respond, nothing, I have everything. Sound familiar? You ask somebody what they want and they say, oh, I don't want anything, I already have everything. I've both said and heard this a million times, but you know what? It's not true. No matter how much stuff you have, you never have too much of two things, time or fun experiences. In the fun department, how about giving somebody something thrilling? Like a race car driving experience, a hot air balloon ride, or a session of swimming with dolphins. Now, those experiences are expensive, but not everything cool has to be costly. Hiking, picnicking, going to a game, taking in a play. These are all experiences that most people would enjoy, and they don't cost a ton. Now, that covers fun. What about time? That's something nobody has enough of. Offer to clean out the garage, detail the car, do some yard work, run errands, do shopping, make a meal. These things don't cost a thing and provide the recipient with that extra time. Bottom line, sure, you've got people on your gift list who say they have everything, but nobody, and I mean nobody, can't use a little more time or a little more fun. Want some more gift ideas from the people who have everything? They're waiting for you at moneytalksnews.com. Just do a search for gifts. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson. Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.